Belgium reached their highest ever position in a World Cup and come third after beating England 2-0. Everything you need to know about the match right now. What's going on, guys? ¿Cómo están? BugaLuis here, and welcome back to another video here on the channel. Just like always, if you hate fake news as well as bullcrap bias, then this is the right place to be. So click the subscribe button down below so you don't miss anything on the content that we upload here on this channel. So obviously in this video we're going to take the match between Belgium and England, in which Belgium won 2-0. And I gotta say it was a very good performance from Belgium, very good performance from England. And if this was the match to determine the third place, and it was kind of good, can we imagine how good will the final be? That's going to come in tomorrow, so don't get too excited. Just like always, like I said, keep on touch on the channel so you know when I'm loading the match reaction for tomorrow. You can already check out my previews and predictions for those match up here, and I gotta tell you guys, it's pretty neat, and we have a very good match coming up. So I want to start off by talking the teams, both teams, Belgium and England, and give you some facts that are very interesting. Nowadays, you can really reach a final by not winning any single game. If we take a look at the balance, you can take a look at Belgium and say they've done a very good World Cup because they've won 6 games, 3 in the group stages, then they won against Japan, then they won against Brazil, they lost against France, and they now won against England. So out of the 7 games they've played, they've won 6 of them, which is very good. But if we take a look at England, for instance, they won 2 games in the group stages, lost against Belgium, so no game there. Then they went on to Colombia, which they draw through penalties. Then you go on to winning against Sweden, which was a good World Cup. And then you go all over and lose in the semifinals and lose in the other one. So out of 7 games, England only won 3 of them. So that's kind of like, I don't know if you can tell, that's a very good World Cup. But now to even give you a bigger fact and something you're gonna be like, what in the world happened? Well, for instance, let's take a look at the Copa America some years back. Paraguay reached the final and became the second place team in that competition by winning 0 games. They draw every single game. In the group stages, they draw 3. In the quarterfinals, they draw and won from penalties. In the semifinals, they won and draw for penalties. And then in the final, they lost. So I don't know. You can see facts right there, and you can judge by your own criteria whether England have had a good World Cup. I would say that Belgium have had a good World Cup. England, to be honest, I would say also have had a good World Cup. But just are those facts that are kind of interesting, and I wanted to let you know that it's pretty interesting. So now on to the match. We're gonna talk a little bit about the very first few minutes. I gotta be honest with you, I missed the very first 5 minutes of the game because I was asleep. Yeah, I was asleep. I woke up and my dad was like, hey man, the game is already started. Belgium is already winning 1-0, and I was like, what? And I just looked at my phone, I was 5 minutes late and it already was 1-0, and I was like, okay. So I went in, and hopefully I just came into the time after the goal was scored so I could see the highlights of it. And I gotta say it was a pretty good, very good goal, World Cup goal, and just insane. Because can we talk a little bit about Thomas Meunier? Thomas Meunier has been probably one of the best right backs in the competition. Has been absolutely insane. This guy has been running for days, and I think the FIFA should actually give him the man of the match for this game. Although we know that FIFA are not exactly fair and always like to go with the big names like Hazard or De Bruyne, like that. I think they would give it to Hazard, but Thomas Meunier really deserves it because he has been absolutely insane in this game. And to be completely honest, throughout the World Cup, it's gonna be interesting now because we know that he has that amazing quality of being just this guy, like, I don't know, like a Cafu, that he can just go boom and attack really well. So will he stay at PSG? I don't know. That's my dilemma, like whether he stays in PSG or not, because he has really quality, a big quality to become a right back in any other teams out there, because he can really be a really good right back if he gets the right amount of playing time, and we've seen it today. Next up, I would like to take a little bit of time how just think Belgium are just this counter-attacking team that are really good, doing everything they want. There was this chance in the second half where Belgium had the ability to score one of probably the best goals in the World Cup, not because of okay, no, the finish was also insane, but it got saved by Pickford, and I think you know which one I'm talking about. We see a clearance from Vermaelen onto De Bruyne. De Bruyne passing almost with a back heel onto, I think it was Vertonghen. Vertonghen onto Hazard. Hazard then back again with a back heel onto De Bruyne. De Bruyne with a back heel again into Mertens. And then Mertens, De Bruyne to Hazard all the way to the side, and then Hazard all the way up to Meunier, and then Meunier shots with a volley, and he got saved. If that would have gone in, it would have been absolutely insane. Probably one one of the best goals in the World Cup, and one of the best goals I've seen in counter-attacking play. And I was probably in my prime of fanatic football under Luis Enrique's Barcelona with the MSN, and I gotta tell you, this one was equally as good as probably the best Suarez, Messi and Neymar has ever done together. It was really, really good, and I was surprised that Belgium just have this ability. And some people are already here in Twitter or stuff like that talking about how this Belgian team, they have missed their chance. But let's just go back into it, and let's think about the age of these players. Hazard is 25, De Bruyne is 26, I think. Something like that. Let me just check quickly because I'm not really sure how old is De Bruyne. I think it's 26. No, he's 27. Okay, but he will still get to the next World Cup. We take a look at Lukaku. He's 24, 25 as well. He will get to the next World Cup. You take a look at some players, perhaps not the defense, but they still have good interchangeable players who can come back for those World Cup. Like, I think someone like Vertonghen or even Alderweireld can get to it because they're players who rely a lot up here with the mental state and not exactly of how they play in the pitch. So that will be very good. And we have to remember that this Belgian team has a lot of potential. And another team has a lot of potential is obviously England. When we talk about England in this World Cup, I gotta make sure that we speak with enough in depth of what we're really saying, because England had a really good World Cup, but from the playing sense, they weren't really that like exciting. They were like kind of just taking advantage of the set piece, which is, to be honest, a fair strategy, but they could be so much more. They could have been so much more, and I think it's good having an England take the advantage of these games, and they should have tried to at least push a little bit more in this third place spot, because I think Belgium just were one level up above in this game against England. We could see England at least having the ball a little bit between the end of the first half and the start of the second half, but as soon as Roberto Martinez included Dembélé for Yuri Tielemans, we see that Belgium had a little bit more of the ball and started not only playing with counterattacks but also developing play, and that's exactly how the second goal came, from De Bruyne onto Hazard, and Hazard shooting the ball through Pickford. And that was kind of like worrying for England, because I think that they never had really a good chance that actually went to the back of the net. The best chance for England was Lingard shooting at the net, but having the shot like basically so bad that it wasn't accurate and falling to Harry Kane, and Harry Kane just almost touched it. That was the best goal, the best chance England had, and that's a little bit worrying, because this team can be good in all of the tactical sense, in set piece and stuff like that, but sometimes you're gonna be also able to develop the play and also be able to carry football and just be the ones who are incentivizing that, and not being the ones who are going to relax and then score from set pieces and always trying to be in front or behind. You have to be those teams that are going to control the game, and right now in this World Cup, I think there hasn't been I don't think it has been any match where England were really controlling the game. Only the match against Panama, I would say. Against Sweden most of the time, also Sweden had a lot of the ball, and that's a team like Sweden that are purely defensive and don't even like the ball. So that's a little bit worrying for me, because they have the players to do so, and many people were talking about before the World Cup that England needed that kind of like playmaker in the middle of the field, or someone who are going to be able to control the ball, like a Jack Wilshere, John Shelby, and we could really see how that kind of player was missing for this World Cup. And just to finish it off, I want to talk a little bit about the top goal scorer, and that is going to be Harry Kane, obviously with 6 goals. And I gotta say that for me, in this World Cup, is probably the top goal scorer with the less inconsequential or the less importance in all of the other World Cups. Like, Harry Kane has scored goals against Tunisia, against Panama, those are 4, then once again from penalty against Colombia, 5, and I think one more against, I don't know who he scored, but he just had 6 goals, and all of his goals were just like meh. He never scored in the quarterfinals, in the semifinals, and it's just like, how did he win the top goal scorer? Like, can you really think about it? In the previous World Cup 2014, we had James Rodriguez. James Rodriguez scored the best goal in the World Cup, scored in the quarterfinals, scored in the round of 16. He scored in the group stages. He scored for winning goals. He scored like last minute headers. Just insane. And we take a look back even further, 2010, we take a look at 4 World Cup top goal scorers in Diego Forlán, David Villa, World Cup winner. We take a look at Wesley Sneijder, who came in runner-up of the World Cup, and also Thomas Müller. All the top 4, all the goal scorers were in the top 4 place teams. And Forlan just scored one of the most amazing goals I've ever seen in my life. I always remember that goal. We saw how important he won. Thomas Müller as well in Germany, who were also insane in 2010. We saw David Villa, who's winner of the World Cup, and also Wesley Sneijder, who scored last minute penalties, stuff like that. And it's a sort of like importance we see in that. Even further, 2006 we had Miroslav Klose. Even further, 2002 we saw Ronaldo scoring goals in the final. Even further, we go 1998 with Zucker. We see like this stuff that the goal scorer is like such an important player, and this time around Harry Kane wins it, and I'm like, what has he done? He was disappeared against Croatia, he disappeared against Sweden, he disappeared against Belgium tonight, and he wins it. I don't know, man. I really like Harry Kane, but this is just a fact. This is not like I'm like saying bad things about Harry Kane. I'm just putting the facts onto you, and you can think whatever you want. I'm not questioning Harry Kane. He's a really good player, but I just think it's a fun fact. So guys, tell me what you think about this match. What do you think about the top goal scorer facts that I just throw at you? Leave me all of that in comment box down below. Tell me what you think. Obviously, your opinions are very important to this channel, because together, you and me, we grow. And that's very, very important for me, to be honest. Reading your opinions for me is just the best. So just like always, if you hate fake news and bullcrap bias, then click the subscribe button down below. That's the most important thing, so you don't miss anything on the videos I'll be uploading on this channel. Tomorrow is the final. You can watch out the reaction like I told you guys. You can also check out my predictions for that match up here, as well as you can check out Barcelona videos, which basically are just really blooming on my channel, which, to be honest, thanks to you guys, because I've never thought that you wanted to see so much Barcelona, but now I think I need to really give you more Barcelona. So hopefully you have enjoyed. Just like always, see you in the next one. Take care. Ciao.